This is cutting down the nets. Finals week is over. The bad basketball is over. We've got a full slate. This is the big Saturday, and I'm excited to go through the games. Some things to note here. Bovada, still down for 48 hours. I don't know if I've lost that money or not. That's a significant amount of money. So hopefully their website works. That would be great for someone who lives in a state with no legal sports betting. Number 2, BetStamp has no lines currently. Usually they have them by 2 o'clock. So I'm old school on sportsbook review, which I hate, but I'm getting a feel for what these lines are. So with all of that in mind, we're going to go game by game here, but I would pay attention to BetStamp and what I actually play, because I'm guessing on some of these lines or some of these openers could be just bad numbers. So pay attention to what the patty number is more than what the current projected variance between those two numbers are and stuff like that. So, all right. So what we've done, we've gone through the 100 or so games for Saturday, made a pool. This record has not changed. The only games I'm currently playing on Friday, December 17th, are Virginia Tech -2 and Rio Grande Valley +5. So Virginia Tech, kind of an interesting case here. I'll just share with you. We'll go to today's lines. Virginia Tech -2. Neutral court, Virginia Tech will get 3 looks. Bonnie D has been a struggle bus, which is odd. And I mentioned during yesterday's video that Couture and Aline would be the key to the game. Couture is currently 4 of 4 from 3. Aline's 2 from 7. Murphy has added 3 threes. And it's currently Virginia Tech 57, St. Bonaventure 27. So, hey, got that one. Who knows how the rest of the day and who knows how Saturday will go. But it's fun to celebrate the wins. Okay, some of these games don't even have lines for yet. But that's kind of good because then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about and make your own decisions. So let's get to it. Memphis and Tennessee. I have 7, Ken Pom 5. I don't have a line yet. I would want Tennessee less than 4, and I don't see a scenario where I would be betting Memphis. It'd have to be an astronomical number that is not going to be there. So I'm Vols or bust. I thought this was a mistake. It still could be when it comes to opening lines. So I have Utah State -3 on a neutral court. Ken Pom has -3, but it came in as Iowa -4. Justin Bean, far and away the Aggies' best player, is a game-time decision. I also feel that injuries typically get overvalued. So if this truly is Utah State getting 4 against the Hawkeyes, I am fine with that. But could be a mistake line. If that's -4, this game just disappears and there's no value there and I'm just moving on with my life. But if that is in fact correct, that's something to note. Not likely a play here, no line yet on Florida State UCF. All right, with a giant slate like this, we're going to run into games where you just have to make a decision how big a card you want to play. I am trying to be more conservative and make better decisions this year. So some games I typically would have played in the past likely don't make it on my card for Saturday. And that's also assuming that Bovada has a working website by tomorrow. That would be real nice, Clark. So Gonzaga, Texas Tech. I actually have Gonzaga by only 5.5. This is on a neutral court. I'm just not going there on a huge slate like this. But 8.5 could grow. I don't know. It's just not on my radar with the amount of games there are. But if I had to bet this game, it would be Texas Tech side. And no, I would not enjoy that at all. Auburn, St. Louis, off. West Virginia, UAB, off. Houston, Okie State, neutral site. Houston by 8.5. Again, not enough there for me on a slate this big. But if you're playing a huge card and just like sprinkling a little bit of money here and there and just want to have fun and the game's on TV and whatever, yeah, play whatever you want. That's why this YouTube channel exists, is to show you what my pool is, and you can make your own decisions. So I like the Houston side. So maybe you're watching the game and a live betting opportunity comes up as Oklahoma State's up 14-6 early on or something, and you get Houston -4 or something like that, and be like, yeah, let's go. They'll come back. Providence, UConn, I thought this would be closer to the KenPom number of 8, which would give us a window into an Ed Cooley bet, which is one of my favorites. But they're not biting. They kind of split us here, and it's at 6.5, so I'm going to move on with that. Louisville, Western Kentucky should be a good real-life game. Did not see betting value there. Baylor has been efficient. They are going to Oregon, who has been struggling. But Baylor's been getting it done without shooting the ball well. Now, they lost a lot of shooters to the NBA with Butler and Mitchell. But, I mean, that's like Flagler's not shooting well. Mayer's not shooting well. At some point, those are going to fall, and they're going to be even more efficient than they are right now. Yeah, it's a play there. I don't love it because it's laying 8 at Oregon, but Oregon does not look like an Oregon team yet this year. So I'm fine with that. Indiana, Notre Dame, not really any concerns here. It's a short number, 3.5. There's a chance it could go down to 3. That's the KenPom number. Notre Dame did beat Kentucky. Kentucky went 2 of 19 from 3. So if Kentucky goes 6 of 19 from 3, totally different story. But hey, they forced Kentucky to go 2 out of 19 from 3. No such thing as bad luck. Byu Weber State, nah. TCU, Georgetown, I think that's now like 2.5, so now it's officially a no. I have TCU by 3-4, so not much there. UNI versus Marshall, nope. LSU, Louisiana Tech. Should be a showcase game for Lofton. It's going to be a fun game, up and down. It is a big number, but I do think LSU can get some second chance points, and it is certainly up in class for Tech. Tech is a good team. That's just how good my model has LSU playing right now, and it's all on the defensive end. Literally a complete 180 from last year. So I would list it in the pool, and I would watch that game. I think it's going to be a fun game. St. Joe's Bradley, high variance game, not on this slate. I'd pass. North Texas, Wichita State. Wichita State is 8-2, and they've had 3 games over 1 point per possession. So currently it's Wichita State -4. KenPom has 6. I have North Texas and Wichita State basically even, so I just want to squeeze as many points as possible. But I like the mean green side of that game. Georgia Tech, USC, I do not have a line yet. I do have USC by a large number. Expecting a number around probably 9.5 would be my guess. So I don't know. See how the day goes. Potentially in the pool. It's just hard to predict when we have no idea what the number is. Xavier, this is a massive number, 9.5, but KenPom has 11, Torvik 15, me 18. Xavier's just been flat out elite on both sides of the ball, and they just worked Fremantle back into the starting lineup. So Marquette's no slouch. I mean, top probably 100, top 120 team, but opportunities like this exist. I wouldn't expect the number just to shoot up, so I'd be interested in watching that one. Again, it's going to be a good day to check BetStamp on Saturday to see what I played, because it really depends on what's happening here. Dayton and Ole Miss. The Flyers have been much more consistent the last 7 games. They had a rough start to the year, and that's what made the Kansas game so shocking, but they have been much more predictable in the last 6-7 starts. Ole Miss offense is a train wreck right now. It's currently Ole Miss -3. I would take Dayton in that game. I have Dayton as a slight favorite, so give me the 3 points. Seattle and Washington. Washington is -6. KenPom has 6. I have -1. It's going to be a messy game. Both teams have high foul rates, and neither team is very good. So if you're looking to trim a card and not play as many games, probably a good one to pass on. If you're a degenerate like me, rock and roll. Let's go. Hofstra and Arkansas. So Hofstra's been getting torched from deep, and even with that, I have them a little tighter here. The game is 10.5. KenPom has 12. I have Hofstra within 5.5. So I am hoping for as many points as possible. Anything closer to that KenPom number would be great, but anything double digits, I would likely play. Grand Canyon, San Francisco, two good teams. This is it's a good game. Data has San Francisco significantly here, but this is a slow game. Both teams are solid. Both teams kind of have strengths, and they're canceled out by the other. Like, there's nothing to really exploit here. So while there is some variance in my line to the current line, it's not a place I have to go on a big schedule like this. Chattanooga, Murray State, likely a pass there. Ball State, Illinois State, I mean, look up that matchup. That's weird. I mean, both teams are shooting like 40% from three, and both teams are like allowing 40% from three. So hard to predict and something I'll just avoid. But yeah, that stuff can change. But if it only changes for one team, then someone's getting blown out in that game. A lot of gray here, just not much. And even if a line came in where I expected, not likely a play. Butler, Purdue, I don't have a line yet. KenPom says 12. Sorry, I don't make this up. Based on efficiencies, it's Purdue minus 25, which is a really big number. I don't think I would lay that. Slower pace. Butler slogs you out a little bit, and we would need a hyper-efficient game from Purdue to cover such a big number. But curious to see where that comes in. And it could be a buy low spot for Purdue, who just has been a little cold shooting the ball the last few games after an insane start to the year. I also think that I think Ivy can create some ball pressure there, and the Butler guards have been a little turnover prone this year. So, I don't know. Something to monitor. Don't have to go there, but I don't know, man. It's good to have basketball back, like in full. Portland State, Cal State Northridge. There's some variance here from a betting perspective. Portland State's favored by 1.5. I have Cal State Northridge by 3, but I'm going to pass on that game. You'll see this with another team. So Oregon State has been brutal, as has Missouri. And in these cases, the data is it's going to suggest playing the other team. Do I expect those teams to finish the year like 3-25? No. But something has to change for me to not be on their opponents. And that can be losing some games where they were far more efficient. I mean, they're just bad basketball teams here, and we're kind of blinded by the name at times. But Oregon State is not currently a good basketball team. So a bit of a grinder. I could see the Aggies struggling to score at times, but the Beavers are a mess. So the line is 2.5. I have 9. I'm fine with Texas A&M there. Off. St. Peter's and Stony Brook. St. Peter's offense is really struggling, but Stony Brook has the ability of allowing easy buckets, which St. Peter's tries to get. Like, they'll pound it inside. So I'm hesitant on that game, and I don't have a line yet. I'm expecting it to be around 5, and I'd probably pass. Utah, Missouri. Mizzou cannot get worse offensively by any metric. Utes have decent defense. I'd be fine with the Utes up to -6 here, which I think is possible that line grows. So I'll bet that as early as possible if I have a working website at bovada.com. Tennessee Tech, Wright State, no line yet. KenPom has 10. I have this closer to a pick'em because Wright State has been so poor defensively. So, yeah, just something to note. Look, Wright State's broken, but they can't be this broken that my dad is spitting out pick'em games at home against Tennessee Tech. So, Yeah, I'm not going to go there, but that's just weird. I don't know. Okay, Eastern Kentucky is a high variance team. Ken Palm has 3, Torvik 9, me 11. No line yet on the game. I'd be fine with Eastern Kentucky up to 6, 6.5. Obviously, want as little as possible there. Dixie State, North Dakota. I say stood out, but Dixie's data is because of a recent stretch of shooting the lights out from 3 and just not a very good basketball team. So I'd sit that one out. Again, when you get to the bottom of the schedule, you are running into bottom 300 teams, like we see here with Mount St. Mary's and Morgan State. No line yet. These are the extra games that take time. The lines come out a little later anyway, and I'll be traveling, so trying to get the video out very early today. Lamar and Corpus Christi. We need Corpus Christi to force turnovers and get second chance points. I think it's possible. Don't have a line. Ken Palm is 3. If it was 3, I would totally bet it. And I'd be fine with Corpus Christi up to 5-6 range. 6 probably the ceiling on that one. A lot of bad teams down below. Something to note, Western Illinois will be, there's going to be spots for them. I don't like a team like that laying 18, but there will be spots for them. That's been a good team this year. We've added UNC Kentucky. I haven't, it's not in my normal schedules that my program runs, so I have to manually do that game, and I've not done that yet. Whew. A lot of games, a lot of opportunities. This is my pool. I'm comfortable with it, but just know that, like, look, I have no control over these opening numbers, whether they're good, bad, indifferent, but you have seen what I'm handicapping the game at. And if you follow on BetStamp, you'll see what I pull the trigger on. So even if no Justin Bean, I'll take Utah State as an underdog against the Hawkeyes. Also like Indiana -3.5 against Notre Dame. North Texas as a dog against Wichita State, but I'm hoping for a better number as Ken Palm is 6, current line is 4. I'm okay with Xavier laying a big number against Marquette. I like Dayton +3 against Ole Miss, Texas A&M at Oregon State, Utah at Missouri. Hofstra is 10.5 against Arkansas, but I would prefer a slightly larger number. Anything double digits, I am fine with. Oh, Seattle, Washington, kind of a fringe play, but I like the Seattle side. Don't expect that number to move a whole lot. Baylor, Oregon, kind of a fringe play. I like Baylor. LSU and Louisiana Tech, a fun game, but likely a fringe play as well. But overall, a pretty solid pool. It is possible on BetStamp you see a lot of games from this pool, but maybe a couple missing. You may see some games that are not currently listed. An example would be Eastern Kentucky up to -6. So if I'm playing it, it'll be on BetStamp. And should be a fun Saturday. Should be lots of games on in the background if you're getting together for Christmas and things like that. So I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate all the comments. Again, if you have questions on games that you didn't see or maybe were added to a schedule, just throw a comment in there. I'd be happy to respond. So thanks for stopping by, cutting down the nets, and have a great weekend.